So a few weeks ago, I tried the USMC Table 2 course of fire, which is a Marine Corps qualification drill. And so it's split up into two parts, and I did first the training day, where I kind of just get used to the skills, get used to the drills, and kind of go from there. And so now in this video, I'm going to do the second course, if you will, which is the qualification day. So I'll be using a lot of the same skills, but I'll also be doing actual scoring this time. So I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. So a couple things to note that are going to be a little different from the last time I did the training day is that I'm using a different range. So I'm probably shooting more at like 40 to 45 yards instead of 50 like before. And also stage 5 of the qualification day makes you do shooting moving targets. I don't have access to moving targets or any way to do that. So instead I'll just be shooting them static, but from the 100 or 200 yards. So just some things to kind of keep a note as you watch the video. But other than that, let's get to it. So I know this is quite a bit of information I have here on the screen, so you can either pause it here to read the instructions in their entirety, or you can just follow along, and I'll put the instructions in the bottom left corner of the screen as I shoot these drills. So stage 1 for presentation drills, we'll just take it one at a time. So drill 1 consists of a slow fire headshot fired in a time limit of 3 seconds, standing on the target, and this drill will be conducted twice for a total of 2 rounds fired. Okay, let's see that once more. That was in 173. Okay, and so I'll just check my targets at the very end instead, just to kind of not switching back and forth too much, but that was 155. Then what we're going to do for drill 1B is this drill consists of a controlled pair fired in a time limit of 2 seconds standing. That was 244. Let's try it once more. Okay, and that was 241. So that first one was 244, then 241. Tried to slow it down a little. Oh, there are a lot of wasps. I am M16, yet the bugs still scare me. So I tried to slow it down a little more to get to 4 seconds. So 2.4, 2.5-ish roughly. And so let's move on to 1C now. So again, for 1C, what we're going to do is a failure to stop consisting of 2 rounds to the chest and 1 round to an alternate aiming area. I'm going to use the pelvic region because it's larger than the head, so I'm likelier to hit it, right? And so that has to be done within 5 seconds. So 2 to the chest, 1 in the pelvic region within 5 seconds. That was in 470. So that wraps up stage 1. So now we're on to stage 2, which is position change. So another magazine of 7 rounds will be loaded into the rifle. And then for stage 2A, a controlled pair fired standing, followed by a controlled pair fired kneeling in 7 seconds. This is something I had worked on a little bit in between the training and the qualification day, this video. Don't know if that's cheating, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so I realized what I did is I kind of meshed up drill 2A and 2B. So what you just saw was 2A, and so what I did is I fired 2 to the chest, and then I did 2 to the pelvic region, but I didn't need to go to an alternate aiming area. That's what I'm going next. So the drill isn't like messed up by any means, but just something I realized following instructions. So let's move on to 2B, and that was 534 by the way, time-wise. So for 2B, it's a failure to stop drill consisting of 2 rounds to the chest, standing to kneeling, followed by 1 fired to an alternate aiming area while kneeling. Okay, so that's within 8 seconds. Let's get to it. So that was in 517, and so that concludes course number 2B and just 2 overall. So now let's move on to stage 3. So if you're curious to see what my setup looks like, I'm not doing anything too special in terms of the targets. The sun was in my eyes. So I just have the one main target here, And then as I prep for stage 3, because I have to do multiple targets, I have this other one behind me. And so it's really nothing too crazy. For some reason, I thought that because it's like an official kind of qualification, I thought for some reason the target setups would be a lot more complicated, more intricate. But it's very straightforward, which I like, very simple. And so that way, like, just normal people like me can run it and can practice, which is pretty neat. And so anyway, the sun is starting to kind of go down a little bit, and so let's go on to stage 3. Just finished setting up the 2 targets for stage 3, which call for 2 targets, as the name would suggest. So M16 is doing well. Sun's kind of in my eyes, so we have the tape on top of the ACOG. But yeah, things running like a charm. Really love it. So let's get back to business. We have stage 3 now, which also has 3 phases, so A, B, and C. Let's take them one at a time. So a magazine of 24 rounds will be loaded into the rifle. 3A, controlled pair fired standing on the left target, okay, followed by a controlled pair fired standing on the right target in 6 seconds. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. So 2 on the left, 2 on the right within 6 seconds. Okay, that was 4, 8, 9. So now let's move on to B, 3B. So controlled pair fired standing on the left, controlled pair fired kneeling on the right in 9 seconds. Okay, so 2 to the left while standing, then kneel, 2 to the right, do it twice. Okay, so the first one was in 595, this one was in 689. So that finishes 3B, so let's do 3C. And so this is going to also be a failure to stop drill. And so, what do we have here? 2 rounds fired to the chest of the left target, standing to kneeling, followed by 2 rounds to the chest of the right target, kneeling. Then 1 round to a different area on the right, 1 round to a different area on the left. Okay, so this is where we're switching back and forth, kind of like that one drill in the training day. So I think I got it. I'll put the description and on here on the screen, and so just watch that if it doesn't make sense. So let's do it. So I kind of had to rush this one because my target wasn't properly stapled, so I couldn't actually see the pelvic region, which is where it chose to hit. And so that was a 794. I still got the time, but would have liked to go a little slower, but it's all good. So let's move on to stage 4 now. This is a little simpler. It's just going to be 2 shots standing. Then as I go into the kneeling position, I'll reload and then do 2 shots kneeling. So 2, reload 2, but also standing to kneeling. And it looks like I just do this once. So let's knock this one out. So I don't actually know my hits yet, but that was 6 to 8 if it's focusing. When I was doing the training day, I was having a hell of a time trying to go from standing to kneeling. And I think also when I was trying to kneel, I was constantly trying to brace my elbow onto the soft portion of my thigh. And so it got really awkward and hunched over. But this time, as you saw there, instead of trying to always brace, I just decided to C-clamp harder and just brace the butt of the stock into my shoulder harder as well. But I actually found it worked really well for me. And so kind of getting familiar with training day definitely helped me with this one, hopefully, but we'll see my hits. So that concludes 1 through 4. So what I actually have to do, I'm trying to put the shot timer on my belt. But what I'm trying to do now for stage 5 is I actually need to get to 100-yard range and shoot that drill, because right now I'm only at about, as you can, it's pretty dark, but right now I'm only at about maybe 50 yards or so. And so I'm gonna try switch over real fast, find a 100-yard range, which I think I can get to, and try to wrap this one up. Alright, boys and girls, so we have made it to the 100-yard line. However, there are some hiccups in this drill. So I have the 100-yard line, which is what I need, but I also need a target that moves left to right, as I kind of mentioned, and I don't have that. So originally what the drill is supposed to be is that the first one, 5A, is that I shoot a target 2 pairs standing to kneeling as it moves left to right in under 10 seconds. Then I repeat that right to left. I can't do that, so arbitrarily, I'm just gonna, instead of shooting within 10 seconds, I'll only give myself 6. Why? I don't know, because I need to find a way to make it harder to make up for the fact that it's not gonna be moving, so that's just what I'm gonna do. So let's try it out. Let's wrap up the video with those 2 drills. I can definitely tell. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, but I can definitely tell that I threw that 1-2 third shot. That definitely was over to the left, but let's run it once more. That was in, if you can see it, it's in 5.92. This time we were in, if it shows, 5.75. If not, all good. Alrighty, so that concludes the Table 2 course of fire for the qualification day. So we did the 5 stages. We're testing standing to kneeling, moving between different targets, and so on. So this wraps up the video, guys. I'm just going to voice over this last part because the sun's going down. But I moved these targets into the sunlight so you can see my hits a little better. And overall, I'm pretty pleased. I got most of my hits into the center region or the pelvic region where I was aiming. But of course, there were some flyers as well, but I expected that there would be some. I think the biggest thing I'm curious to know, since at the time I'm recording I'm still at the range, is for the headshots on my right target, which is the main target I was shooting on. I'm pretty sure I had to shoot more than 2 headshots, but yet I only see 2 in the headshot region. And so when I get home, I will kind of figure out how many headshots I really was supposed to need, because I'm pretty sure these are misses. But overall, I'll flash my score on the screen now. And so I'm pretty pleased overall with my performance, and so I look forward to definitely improving this again. I think for my next steps, what I want to do is I want to practice particularly on just taking my time to shoot timed courses, because I was always rushed. Then again, knowing my holds as well. And also, to be honest, I do think I need maybe some different kind of eye pro, because the ones I had were pretty dark, and so I couldn't see these, chest, the pelvic region, or the head region too well. But from a skills perspective as well, I'm very glad that I did train more on the standing to kneeling, and so I think that was definitely something that really helped me going from the training day into the qual day as well. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'm definitely going to try this again in the future, and so appreciate any feedback you have. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.